no father to fight for me. My mother always told me, son, you have no father to fight for you. But if you clothe yourself with values, values will keep you out of trouble. The wisdom of a parent. So today, if you purpose it will happen in your life. But you can't get to a destination if you have no destination. People who reach narrow are the people who desire to go to narrow. So they walk to narrow. But if you have not decided, if you don't know where you are going, you have no direction. Purpose gives you a direction and a destination. And those who love you, like your parents, like your teachers, who constantly keep on reminding you, if narrow was your destination, I don't think at the pace you are walking, you reach narrow before darkness. They will even tell you the pace at which you need to walk. They will tell you, I think if narrow was your destination, I think you may need to change the route. That's the essence and purpose of having an objective. So today, let's not be sleep before we have established the objective for which we sat before the board to say, kindly grant me a scholarship. How do you want to use the scholarship? And then generously protect that and look for peers to particularly share with your teacher and say, Principal, I was to be the governor of Narok 2042. And please guide me during the 4 years to ensure I achieve my dream. The principal will tell you, son, everybody gives way to the best. If you are the best in class, everybody will give way to your wish and to your will, and you certainly become the governor. That's how the story goes. So, set objective. The second thing is manage yourself. We're training you to be leaders. But you can't lead others before you have led yourself. Please, the first person you can lead is yourself. Manage yourself. We're at a very delicate age. We call it the age of transformation. Between the age of 13, 14 to 18 is where you evolve from being a child to an adult. That evolution is not voluntary. It will happen whether you want it or you don't. It's a hormonal transformation. And that hormonal transformation causes imbalance and tends to drive human beings emotionally other than rationally. And you do things because of the dictates of the body. God created us in his likeness and differentiated us from animals and said, I will grant you the favor of intelligence, knowing that every action has consequences. When the body pushes you because of hormonal transformation, use your head to manage and to control your body. Use your intelligence to control the emotions being generated by hormonal transformation. We are losing a lot of our children, particularly the boys, because you think that, because you have grown beard, you are now a man like any other man, and you want to prove you are a man. I'm sorry, son, you are a student. You have not yet become a man. It's only the process of becoming a man has started too early, when you are still in school. So use your intelligence to say, no, I'm not a man, I'm a student. The man in school is the teacher. Isn't it? And for the girls, I don't know what to say, but you are my daughter, so let's call it what it is. When today I can see all of you are flat-chested. By the time you are in Form 3, You have started developing breast and you'll be aware. And your hips will have started showing. And you start saying you are a woman. You are not a woman. The only woman in the school is your teacher. You are still a student. But you have to use your intelligence. Because physically, the hormones are telling you you are a man. The hormones are telling you you are a woman. If you allow the hormones to manage, then you have lost it. Because the gift that God gave you of intelligence, you have failed to use it. And you are a man or a woman have to have their own destruction. And you are your worst enemy. You only become a leader if you're able to lead yourself through that phase of transformation. And that is when you practice intelligence. And that is when we say character formation happens during that phase. That's when you evolve your personality. And so I move to the third one and tell you, beyond intelligence, the only other thing that will help you is the values you choose to live. Which values do you observe? We live values and we reflect the behavior of the values we live. And when people observe the behavior, they say, well, that is his character. That is his personality. We are at the stage of forming our personality and characters. That formation is based on the values you live. And you'll never be able to change after you have formed up your personality and character. And that's why I said, no, don't forget it. That is him. That is his character. That is his personality. That is the trait of their family. That is a formation of a human being in terms of personality. That is when you acquire your own individuality based on the values you lead. I don't want to guide you to the values you are to lead, because I want you to develop your own individual personality. I don't want you to become James Mwangi. I want you to become yourself. But there are two universal values I want to really share with you, and values that has helped me most. The first one is humility. It is derived from the word being humble. When we are humble, you say you depict humility. And if we really read widely, you see humility is derived from humanity. You are showing the traits of being a human being. That's all that I'm saying. People really underestimate the concept of humility. But humility is the simplicity of the state of humanness. And because you are a human, when you cease to be humble and human, then people don't know how to deal with you. Because we connected. And if you are not operating at the human level, others are not able to brag and play with you. The opposite of humility is what? Pride. And pride comes before what? You're falling out from humanity. And others don't know how to relate with you. The fall is from humanity. From the being, a human being. That you are separating yourself from your species. And of course, pride is best demonstrated by what? Arrogance. That is how it manifests itself. And certainly, when an arrogant, proud person speaks, he makes the others to feel unworthy. And that is why it's the most distasteful character of a person, or personality a human being can ever hold. You are no longer human. So if you want to operate at the same level with others, kindly be humble. The second, I want to give his reverence. Reverence uh, is acknowledging that you are not complete, that you are not in control of everything. And for those of us who are Christians, we say we owe it to God's favor. We acknowledge. And the Bible says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And what are you coming to see? Wisdom. Reverence is a very important attribute because there are many things beyond human comprehension and human understanding. Attributes. There's one thing I still cannot comprehend. How this book picked you out of the devil and said you are the most deserving. If you really question yourself, you will see it was God's favor that was upon you. It was God's favor that was upon you. And so, by acknowledging that, then you manage pride. Because when you think you are in control of everything, and you don't need anybody else, and you don't even need God, then what happens is that pride has taken the better part of it. Those are two qualities I would say they are basic. Clothe yourself with them. Clothe yourself with integrity and honesty. Clothe yourself with love and all the others. But those two will ground you as a human being and will make you fit in our species of human beings. Short of that, you always be sort of an outcast, an outlier, a species out of our world, and people don't know how to relate to it. And the more successful you become, the more dangerous you become. Jonah, you know, Mheshimiwa, the MP for Kajiado Central, taught us almost half an hour about humans. And he said there are three kinds of people. And I will not talk about the others. And he talked about the best kind of a person to be is a citizen. Those two values will make you comfortable as a citizen of Kenya. And you'll be proud and others will be very proud of you. So we have come, we have set our purpose, we have managed ourselves, we have created a set of values by which to live by, and we have acknowledged that there are things beyond us that we attribute them to benevolence. For me, benevolence comes from God. It's for you, I don't want to define for you. But acknowledge that you need others and you need. When you realize you need others, then the question comes, who did you walk with? The phrase says, tell me who her friends are, and I'll tell you who she is. Birds of the same feather flock together. Now, if you pick the wrong company in school, you straight go to the bad company because you become a bird of the feather. And the teacher just needs to see you, the company you pick. And he doesn't need to have any other evidence that you are abusing drugs. Because birds of the same feather flock together. Keep the right company. And earlier on, we have said the best company you can keep. The Bible says, seek ye wisdom, and then everything will follow. Seek wisdom from your father. Seek your wisdom from your religious leaders. Seek wisdom from your teachers, and you will be saved. I have not said seek wisdom from your peers. They have nothing to offer. They have nothing to offer. They are discovering like you. They will experience with you that we in this and see what will happen. You become a lab of people experiencing with your life. Kindly, don't seek wisdom. And that is why they are called the peers. Peers is not a very respected word. Peers, you know, you are bright. Nobody can help each other. You are all bright and no bright man can beat another bright man. So seek to be led by somebody who can see that where you are going and can understand your purpose. Your parents have gone through those phases. Your teachers have gone through those phases. And it will really happen if you seek their wisdom. It will be very unfortunate, you as a generation, if you make the mistakes our generation made. Because then our society will be condemned because it is never making progress. Every evening when I sit with my children, and this is what I will be conversing with you when we sit, is that it is okay to make mistakes, but it's unfortunate if you make the mistakes I make. Because it means we are standing on the same position. We are never learning. We are not a learning society. You should be a learning generation. Learn from all the mistakes we make and avoid them. That should be your beginning. But you can't learn from your peers who have not made mistakes. Seek counsel and wisdom from the right persons. And lastly, be ambitious. Very ambitious. You notice it's always said that which the mind can conceive, the body can deliver. So if you have an ambition, make it big. Because essentially, the rules of nature tends to get the universe to conspire to give you that which you desire. That's how nature works. That you even crave for something, nature will find a way of fulfilling your thirst. So as you go to Form 1 on Monday, please, I will say, start with the big dreams. As you purpose, as you set objectives, let them be big dreams. Because this world requires change. You are in a position of leadership on account of 114,000 who gave you given away, but you are in charge of your generation, which is 1,000,000 of you who did the exam last year. They need great leadership, not mediocre leadership. So be ambitious, and we will support you as you take the charge. I want to say that if you watched Brian, Brian, we saw in the documentary, he's the unfortunate scholar who at the age of 1 got banned, pays hard and everything and all. And she says, when others sympathize with me, I say, I'm like you, I can write and read. We don't fail to achieve because of what we don't have. We fail to achieve for not using what we have. We only change and make progress when we optimally use what we have. For you, age is on your side. For you, intellect is on your side. That's why you are in this room. For you, a modern world is on your side. You have everything to yourself. Please, don't try and look for excuses of why not to succeed. My interactions with the scholars over the last 13 years, I constantly hear, but you know, Dad, I come from a poor family. I said, there is no child who is poor, because no child is expected to have assets. No child is poor. What you are endowed with is extreme intelligence, and that's what you should be seeing. If you came from a humble background, it is your parents who are humble, not you. You are a child like any other child. The child of the president owns nothing. They just happen to be children of the president. So there is no child who is rich and there is no child who is poor. But I get that trap that you know, there is nothing I know. The only thing I know, you joined this program because you are exceptionally gifted and you are the envy of your village. And that is all I know you have, exceptional gift. Use that exceptional gift to overcome the challenges. The second one I know is your drive and passion and resilience. You are in this room because you are very resilient. You held on hope when everything else looked like it will never work, but you believed there will always be light. And because of the benevolence of our Creator, light has come your way. So cling on the things that you have. Don't use excuses of the things you don't have. We don't fail because of the things we don't have. We fail for failure to use the things that we have. This last one, really, is to say it's a great honor that you have chosen to be part of this program. And I want to welcome you with open hearts and say, for those who would have prayed, they are orphans and they don't have a dad, like I saw in the documentary. Today, in front of His Excellency the Governor, I am offered to be your dad. So in this group, there is no girl and there is no boy who is an orphan. Secondly, His Excellency the Governor knows I'm not poor. So you can no longer claim poverty. If you have accepted me to be your dad, then you are also to accept you are no longer. The only thing I have is I've surrounded myself with highly intelligent children who I would support. The group last year, when school closed, we had 17,000 wings to fly and the Eagle scholars. We asked ourselves, what will happen to these children when they go home? We bought each of them a solar panel, a solar lamp, a radio, a phone, and every month for 9 months, we used to give the girls 3,000, 4,000, and we used to give the boys 3,500. We go out of our way to ensure you have no excuse whatsoever. And truly, which performed well. When class 8 last year did their final exam after 9 months of being home, 86% of them have graduated and joined university. 4 years from now, what shall we say about you? Your Excellency, it's my now singular honor and privilege to invite you to talk to the young. No. I will invite you to Mheshimiwa. I will invite you to Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa, this is your constituency, I'm aware. So I will invite you, but I want to invite you to our honorable member of parliament. He comes and greet people, say a few words, and then do the honor on my behalf. That's what I was saying. I was inviting you through my friend, Honorable John Lack.
Thank you, Carol. The CEO and the Managing Director of the Equity Bank, Mr. James Mwangi, His Excellency Governor Samuel Chunai, students or pupils who are going to be students as from next week, who are the main guests in this particular forum, principals of several schools, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to also be part of this forum, where we are discussing serious matters that goes towards the education of our children. And before I say everything I want to say, we are very grateful, really grateful for the work you've been doing in this republic, to the great work that you have done for the many peoples in this country, and more specifically in this county and in my constituency. I want to say we are very grateful, and we thank you so much. I know you have schedules and programs that you have within you, but I just want to say in our midst, we have the AMCA, this standard, this way, it's the AMCA.
Asante sana, hii ni watu yangu. Kwa hivyo kwa chini kabisa mimi host, nimesema asante, tunafurahi. Bwana CEO, tunafurahi. Sisi ni wale watu, hii ni watu yangu. Na nimefurahi kwa sababu wengi ya watu tunajua hata mahali wanatoka. Na kwa sababu mheshimiwa alikuwa hapa, wanaona side program, nataka kushukuru mheshimiwa kwa sababu pia hapo na pasari. Naelewa hapo na pasari kama na wangu, mkubwa wangu kwa kaunti. Katika asema katika budget yetu tunaweka karibu milioni 300. Karibu milioni 300 every year kwa sasa. Kwa hivyo pongezi gavana, pongezi mheshimiwa. Mwisho nataka kusema kushukuru serikali ya Jubilee kwa sababu hapo awali kabla 2013, kabla serikali ya Jubilee itaingia, kabla gavana akakuwa gavana, kabla mheshimiwa akakuwa mheshimiwa, kabla sisi hatujapata kuwa MCA hapa hatukuwa tumepata uhuru. Hiyo tunasema. Kwa hivyo serikali ya Jubilee, pongezi Mwangi, tunasikia pongezi. Hawa ni watoto wetu, tunashukuru Mungu kila wakati. Asante sana.
Asante sana kwa MCA. Kwa hivyo nataka tu niseme machache, alafu ndio niamshe mheshimiwa gavana pia tupe mawaidha na swali ongelesha wanafunzi ambaye tunatarajia wanajoin form 1 next week. So yangu tu ni kusema shukrani sana, pongezi wanafunzi kwa kubahatika. Nyinyi hamjui huyu CEO, hata mimi simjui sana. Tumeinteract na yeye in few occasions. But what he does, other than even assisting you, what he does for the economy of this country, and especially in East Africa, is a tremendous job with his team. But when he gives his background, you can't believe that he was just like you, just like some of us. And I think when I see you, it wings to fly were there at our time. Sisi wengine pia tumekuwa beneficiaries kwa sababu we went through the same situations that you went through. Hata kama ukiona gavana sahihi, labda unafikiria alitoka Majuu. Gavana pia alikuwa anatembea na sisi na mkuu. Ile ya secondary school, in a very local secondary school, called Agata Marigoi, which is even smaller than this one. So we all came from such a humble background, and we believe that, well, many people never got that opportunity to go to school because of fees. And this is a major part which you've come into play in the whole country. The reason why we have dropouts in our schools, majorly 80%, is because of fees. And we are very grateful. So I want to thank you so much. I want to thank the company. I want also to thank the government for chipping in to assist us in areas that we believe imekuwa ngumu kwa wanafunzi wetu wafaulu. So when I look at these places, when I see you, I know most of them, they come from very humble background. But you see, you also gave me one motivation today, that we are, even if our parents are poor, we are not poor ourselves. So that perception, that thinking that we normally have, ati kwamba sisi ni tunatoka kabisa familia mbaya, therefore hatuwezi fika mahali, hiyo leo nimetoa kabisa kwa kichwa yangu. Na hata nyinyi, I believe you have that part, kwamba you are not poor, you are not from a humble family. You are not humble, maybe you are from a humble family, but you are not humble yourself. I mean, you are not poor yourself. This is the opportunity you're given to go and study. And I must say, when I see you, wale wanafunzi ambao you've sponsored, you've given scholarships in form of wings to fly from this constituency are above 60. And 100% of them walienda university. Transition was 100%. That means we really appreciate what you people have done. The introduction of a limo scholarship. We were also so lucky that I think in the whole of our county, it is only Murua Dikri which benefited. And I think it is a program that we run for something like 4 years. And it is sponsoring not less than 100 students from Form 1 to Form 4. I want to tell you, by the end of the 4 years, I don't know how many years, I will tell you I would have gotten the best foundation of education in my constituency. We came from also as a constituency, we were a huge constituency, a very big constituency called Kilgoris. And we wouldn't blame anybody for the kind of education system we had, because the constituency was very huge. So that by the time Rwandikiri became a Rwandikiri constituency, we had in this constituency only 9 secondary schools, in the whole constituency. But God has assisted us so that by today, through the assistance of our offices, we've managed to build secondary schools up to, as we speak today, we have 34 secondary schools. I'm saying this because what you talked about here is only education. Education also is what I believe myself should be the legacy that I should leave as a leader. That we give education, we give an opportunity to our children so that they also become future. And like you say, you cannot be anything unless you go through education. So I want to say we are also grateful. Challenges like any other constituency, but we are trying our best. We had also, when we came to this constituency, we got around 54 primary schools. And today we are talking about 160 primary schools that we have built in the last 6 to 8 years. And on that note, I want to say the reason why we are having as many students who qualify to go to secondary schools and those who qualify to go to universities is because of trying to bring education closer to them, to their homes. Initially, secondary schools were far from home, and we tried our best to bring secondary schools closer to the primary schools that we have. You also told us about the talk you had with the president, especially on free day secondary education. that thing has changed the lives of many people in our areas. You know, we used to have boarding schools, and a few, like I told you, we had a few boarding schools, and not so many parents would manage to pay fees in those particular boarding schools. But the introduction of day secondary schools, you only pay 3,000, maybe for food. Free, you study free, and so that even the money that we have in form of bursaries are enough to pay for these students, for their lunch and a few upkeep. So the introduction of free day secondary school was a big, big achievement, and I'm very grateful to make that introduction. It is like you also made, other than the scholarships, the Wings to Fly and the Elimu scholarship, it is like you've sponsored millions of students who go to day schools and they finish Form 4, wanapita wanaenda university. It's like you've sponsored them because you introduced a very good idea. And that is why even us, and I'm grateful, we're here with the Ministry of Education, we have the DO, and we have the county representative. When you find us creating new secondary schools, it is not that we want to see buildings. It is because of the population. At the same time, it is because of the parents we know cannot afford to pay fees to these students in first school. So we try to build many day schools around them so that mtoto akitoka hapa degree anaenda the next school na food kwenda huko. So when you go around doing your assessments, don't bring that Nairobi perception. Kuja hapa ground ujue watoto hapa tunasaidia kujengea mashule ni karibu. Ni wasomi wapate nafasi. Parents here cannot afford those fees. So it is only through day schools that we can help them. Otherwise, sitaki niseme mingi. Nataka tu niseme bursaries, we are trying to give especially the orphans and those who come from single parents and all that. Andaka niambie tu wanafunzi, just like what the CEO said. Kama wewe ni msichana, ujue maliza shule kwanza secondary, maliza university, alafu sasa uje utafute bwana. Mabwana hakuna mahali wanaenda. Vijana nao someni kwanza mpaka umalize university ndio uje utafute bibi. I usually give myself as an example. Mimi nilikaa sana. I think when I see you must have watched, I got married just the other day. Nilikaa sana na I'm over 40 years. But mimi nilisema waje nijaribu kwanza hii masomo na kadhalika ndio maisha iko indirahisishe. So I'm just telling you how ukifika shule msianze kufikiria mambo ya kuolewa. Kuolewa kwanza ni shida. Hii manyumba yenye mnatoka ni shida. Ukiona sisi hata kama tumekaa hivi tumeoa, lakini ile mashida tuko nao kwa manyumba zetu ni ngumu. So someni so that masomo yako na kazi yenye unaenda kufanya ita reduce hiyo shida ikuje chini. So please I'm challenging you. Ukienda shule, nendeni usome kwa bidii. Tunataka watoto wetu tusikie wamepita, wameenda university, and that is our happiness. Those few remarks, nataka tu niseme shukrani governor. I'm happy also today tuko na wewe. Wewe umenisaidia. You know sometimes regulations ya serikali inatuambia ati wewe jenga hii, usijenge hii. But I'm happy because you decided to assist us to build secondary schools. Although sometimes watu wanasema ati wewe unafaa tu kujenga ECD. Hiyo ECD mimi namaliza mimi mwenyewe. Umetusaidia kwa secondary schools. Mimi nikiweka laboratory hapa, unaweka dormitory hapa. Nikiweka classroom huko, and we are very grateful. So I want to tell you governor, karibu na ujue tuko pamoja na tunasaidiana. Bursaries tumeshukuru sana. Karibu governor. Address please tuketi chini, naomba tuketi. Naona muda umeenda kabisa and guest wetu tunabidi aende. Kwanza kabisa I want to very humbly recognize the CEO, the group CEO. Oh, please. And this one, I think the DO. you know we share with Kingoris, the same branch. And sometimes kuna vitu yenye tunavaa kubenefit directly. Kama employment ya vijana wetu, right? Kama wings to fly. Saa zingine tunapigana na Kingoris. Because when you give us, if it is 15 or 16, we share with Kingoris. And then, like what the DO said, we have so many schools, we have business people, we have so many institutions here that need funds. So please, ukitoka hapa leo, tupitie down na gari changa sana. But we have tablets mpaka hapa. We have buildings that are kama ni ndogo ndogo, but we can get you a good building, jengea sisi Equity Bank hapa, so that we can also become a problem.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. So, I'm very humble to recognize the group's CEO and Managing Director of the largest bank in East and Central Africa, Dr. James Mwangi, the area MP of the Murwadike constituency, Mheshimiwa Ngong Ngeno. Let me say, in the interest of time, all protocol observed, and of course, hawa watoto wetu ambaye wako hapa, tusalimiane wote. Bwana asifiwe. God is good all the time. Thank you so much. Basi, we are here on a very, very important mission. Very, very important. Na kwanza kabisa, on behalf of my county government of Narok, again, I'm very, very humble to welcome my friend and a friend of this county, Dr. James Mwangi. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. To the community of Narok, na jamii wote ambayo wanaishi katika Narok na hawa watoto, najua so many of you probably you don't know who Dr. James Mwangi is. This great man, there are very few people I can tell you of his standing. I can say in this one. Wale wanajua, even the Forbes, najua ile kitabu inaitwa Forbes magazine. He's been quoted, he's been recognized in that book because of his greatness. Where he has brought, mumesikia his background, ametuambia hapa. And those of you ambaye mnajua Equity Bank, mnajua there are big organizations like great banks ambaye some people have joined, wamegrow na mpaka wakaingia. Lakini Equity, alikuta chini. Then he built it to where it is today. Alafu, these institutions, these banks, another institution, they have always been there. And maybe they are doing whatever they are doing. Lakini in terms of corporate social responsibility, in terms of why we are today, education, I can say without any fear of contradiction, there is no single institution, whether bank or any other institution, which has done what Equity Bank through Dr. Mwangi has done in terms of changing our society. Hakuna 17,000 lives. Mumesikia? Hakuna mtu amemlazimisha. Hakuna. He could have chosen to do something else. But yeye ameonelea kwamba through his knowledge, through to the yeye mwenyewe ameketi kama atumie ile akili yako naye na uwezo wako naye kutambua ya kwamba Kenya yote na hapa Emuru Adike aje aweze kubadilisha maisha through education, kuwatambua. say there is nothing we can give you on behalf of these children, but God, Mungu mwenyewe atakukumbuka, atakumbua familia yako. Mungu atakubariki. Sisi wenyewe there is nothing we can give you, but God, I want to tell you, I've always been following. You have invited us as Council of Governors. I've attended a number of meetings and sessions. You have invited us. Uko Nairobi, Uko Kasarani, I've attended personally, State House, and we have seen how much you have changed the society, of course, through education. And I want to tell you, Mburu Atika, vile tumetambulika, there are 290 constituencies in Kenya. In Nairobi, there are 6 constituencies. There are so many ambayo wangetaka wapate hii nafasi. Mungu ametufariki, ndio tumepata hiyo nafasi, kutambulika ndio tupate hii nafasi. Na wacha niwaeleze, vile anasema out of 11 students, wewe umepata hiyo nafasi. Out of 114 applications, nyinyi mmepata how 84 students. And I want to tell you, wacha niwaambie, I want to tell you, to get an opportunity to be lectured by Dr. James Mwangi, you are special and you are privileged. The whole world, even in the US, is looking at an opportunity for him to go and lecture him. I hope some of you have been listening very carefully for that lecture. I was very listening very carefully. Whatever he has spoken, take it very seriously. That's why it's cancelled. You boys and girls, whatever amewambia, musikize na musikize, muende kupatia hata watoto na wajukuu na wajukuu wengi. It's not easy to get that kind of lecture. This is a great man where the whole world is listening. To build a small financial institution, mpaka sasa inakuwa Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, is conquering the whole world. Na dunia yote inataka kumsikiza kitu anasema, and today is in a constituency kama hii, na wewe ambaye umechaguliwa na umepata mpaka nakuja kukulecture, ni better usikize vile anasema. In future, it could be one like him, vile anasema. Na usikize kabisa. So for me, it is his day, not ours. Mimi nilikuwa hapa jana. Na ni hata Thursday alozia. We are always every day. And that's why we wanted to give him time. Sisi leo tutaki kusema mengi. Hata mimi leo tunataka kusikiza bila msasa. So for me really, I don't want to say much, ila tu kusema kwamba yes, in this county we take education very seriously. Kwa sababu kweli jamii ilikuwa nao for some time, education ilikuwa wameacha yes kidogo. Najua hii ni county ambayo walikuwa wamechukua mambo ya urani, wakaacha mambo ya masomo. This is a county ambayo bado iko na mambo ya early marriage, bado iko na challenge ya of course early marriage zile linasema FGM bado iko. We are fighting it as a county government, and through churches, through education, through this youth, we are succeeding. This is what we are fighting. Mambo ya early marriage na mambo ya FGM in this county. Na early pregnancy, we are fighting it, especially wakati ya corona. Ilienda juu sana. To sad. We must say the truth. There was one school, you go unaenda unakuta almost 30 guns in one school. Watoto ya 13, 14. Narok East. Nakuta shule moja watoto almost 30 for 15 years, 14 years. That was the reality. This is what we are fighting. You know, as a county government. But of course, this was because of corona. Because students were home almost 1 year. But we are fighting all that together as a county government and the national government. These are what we are fighting. But for you, today, the students are buying a scholarship. You have been given what you have been looking for. So, as they said, now you are umepata scholarship. So for me, we as your parents, as county government, I believe what we should be looking for, God willing, should be an A. Along from there, go to the university. And you know, we are sitting here, and I believe that should go to that should be what should aspire. And some of you ukipata A, the next thing when they have a university in the USA. Uje hapa uwe daktari, study medicine, uwe lawyer, uwe engineer, because umepata sasa what you wanted. Kama umepata scholarship ambayo inalipa kila kitu, iko kitu kingine inabaki. Is there anything you want? Hesabu ya nataka na umeambiwa. You have only one agenda. Ujaenda huko kutafuta bwana ama mke. The Bible says there is a season for everything. Weenda sasa soma. Bwana na mke atakuja kukutafuta. Sasa ile wewe you are doctor ama you are engineer ama whatever you aspire to be. So Dr. Mwangi, just to tell you, vile mheshimiwa amesema, also as a county government, every time my county government commits 100 million shillings every time for bursary. 100 million every time. In fact, in the first time, 5 years, we have used more than 1 billion shillings for bursary funding. Because of this, vile mheshimiwa amesema, in this sub-county itself, every primary school, we have put some classes, each and every primary school, each and every secondary school, tumejenga kitu, because of the need, because of education, we take it very seriously, tukisaidiana na mheshimiwa MP, because that is through public participation, that was the need. So though it was a national function, now the whole function here to, of course, education was a national. But wakati tunafanya national function, tulipofanya public participation, we saw that was the requirement number one. Education na infrastructure was actually in bad shape. And this is why we invested so much in infrastructure, ya primary na secondary school. Kwa hivyo, because I don't want to say so much, because I know time is going, I just want to say asante sana. Again, nikimalizia, Dr. Mwangi, umesikia this is now a district which is old enough. There is a DCC office hapa with all the infrastructure, OCPD, all the offices of national governments are here, county government. This is why they are really justified in having a branch, because there is no bank. They are really justified in having an equity bank here. And I assure you, like now we have a lot of markets here. Market ya ng'ombe, ya mbuzi, kondoo, ambayo imejaa hapa, biashara nyingi. Kuna a lot of traders ambao wanakuja hapa. Pia wakulima ni wengi hapa. There is a project we are doing to welcome. The money reported here through that program is actually more than 200 million. 200 million ambayo tunapatia hawa wakulima wa hapa, including kuna pia ya maziwa, we have given them a lot of cooling plants, hata watajaza. So hiyo pesa yote inakuwa hata shida because of security, mali ya kwenda kubanka. So the pesa ile inaenda hapa ina circulate every month, ile hapa tunajua between county through those programs is more than almost 200 to 300 million, ambayo inakuwa shida mali ya kupeleka. So they are really justified kuweka bank, kuweka mali ya kwenda kubank, including the staff na all that. So that's why they are really requesting kwamba imetosha. Na mimi nafikiri mheshimiwa tafuta president, I think that is the next step. Mali ya kuweka. You know the boss is here. So Monday, because now we have two, this one, there is a new one ambaye pia ilifunguliwa huko hapa, lakini sasa vile tuko hapa, wacha ifunguliwe hapa kwanza. I want to say again, asante sana. God bless you. Na uhusiano wetu na this great bank itaendelea. And I must finish by saying that so far our relationship with Equity Bank as a county government, with your staff, your managers at Kilgoris is great. With your managers at Narok branch is great. We are doing very well. They are very good people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we go to another session.